Good morning, everyone. My name is Crystal Jane Giraro. Our topic is about Rizal's life, family, childhood, and early education. And now, this is the Mercado's home. Our national hero was born in the lakeside town of Calamba, Laguna on the moonlit night of June 19, 1861, between 11 and 12 o'clock in the morning. Pepe was the seventh child of Don San Francisco Mercado and Doña Tudora Alonso. Father Rufino Colantes baptized the baby, who was named Jose Potasio in honor of Saint Joseph and Saint Potasio. Feliz Prudente Santa Maria, the author of the book In Excelsis, explained how Rizal got the nickname Pepe in his book In Excelsis. Saint Joseph was Jesus Christ's putative father, San Jose's name, and always followed by the letter P. P for pater putative in Latin. The letter P is pronounced Pe in Spanish, giving rise to the nickname Pepe for Jose. Rizal wrote in his diary, Memorials of a Student in Manila, that his mother had a difficult time giving birth to him. It is said that Doña Tudora made a pact with Antipolo's patroness, Our Lady of Peace and Good Voyage. Rizal was christened at the church on June 22, 1861, when he was only 3 days old. Pepe's baptismal certificate was unfortunately destroyed in a fire in 1861. It was only restored with the help of eyewitness and under the supervision of Father Leoncio Lopez, a Filipino priest and a friend of the Mercado's family. And now let's talk about the family of Rizal. Despite their large family, Don Francisco and Doña Tudora were able to find joy and happiness. They have a harmonious relationship in which affection are shared among family members. They were firm believers in adage, spare the rod, spoil the child. If children are not disciplined decisively and are never punished when they deserve it, they will become spoiled or bad-mannered. Rizal's family life was not always focused on religion. They were allowed to play in the backyard. As Principalia, they were able to build a stone house near the church and even brought another one. They owned a stagecoach, a library, and were able to send their children to college in Manila. Don Francisco and Doña Teodora were a productive couple. They had 11 children. Saturnina was born in 1850, Pasiano in 1851, Narcisa in 1852, Olympia in 1855, Maria in 1859, Jose in 1861, Concepcion in 1862, Josefa in 1865, Trinidad in 1868, and Soledad in 1870. Pasiano was thus 10 years older than Jose, and more of a second father than an elder brother, especially since Don Francisco had entrusted him with the management of the family lands. Francisco Ingrancio Rizal Mercado y Alejandro II was born as the youngest of 13 children to Cirila Alejandro and Juan Mercado on May 11, 1818 in Binan, Laguna. He was from the fourth generation of a Chinese immigrant named Domingo Lamco, who arrived in the late 1600. During his early education in his hometown, he studied Latin and later went on to study philosophy and Latin at the Colegio de San Jose in Manila. However, due to his failure in the agrarian case and the friars, he was evicted from his house in September 1899. He died in Manila on January 5, 1898 at the age of 80. Doña Teodora Morales Alonso Rialonda y Quintos on November 9, 1827. She was born in Manila as the second child of Lorenzo Alonzo and Brigid de Quintos. She attended the College of Santa Rosa. She was a remarkable woman with a refined cultural literary talent, business acumen, and the tenacity of a Spartan woman. Rizal penned a poem about his adoring mother. My mother is a woman of higher culture. She is a mathematician who has read a lot of books. Doña Teodora died on August 16, 1911, in Manila at the age of 85, in her home at San Fernando Street in Binondo. Rizal, in his letter to Blometrit, which read as follows: "My mother is not a woman of ordinary culture. She is more knowledgeable about literature and speak more fluent than I do. When I was studying rhetoric, she even corrected my poem and gave me sound advice. She is a mathematician who has read a lot of books. Her father, the Philippine delegate to the Cortes, had been her teacher." And now, let's talk about the siblings of Jose Rizal. So, Dr. Jose Rizal's parents, Francisco Mercado and Teodora Alonso, married on June 28, 1848. Teodora was from Nisik, Tondo, and Francisco was from Binan, Laguna. They had 11 children with 2 boys and 9 girls. Saturnina, 1850, 1913 was the eldest of the siblings and was commonly referred to as Neneng. She attended La Concordia College in Manila, Santa Ana. Manuel Higaldo of Tanuan, Batangas was her husband. In 1909, Doña Saturnina published Pascual Pablet's Tagalog translation of Noli Me Tangere, and she passed away in 1913 at the age of 63. Pasiano, 1851-1930, was our national hero's elder and only brother. He was commonly referred to as Shano. Prior to enrolling at the Colegio de San Jose in Manila, he studied Latin with Maestro Justiano Cruz. Jose referred him as a Uto. On June 23, 1888, Jose Rizal wrote to Ferdinand Blumetret and expressed regret for failing to introduce his brother to him. Narcisa, 1852-1939, was the second daughter and third child of Francisco Mercado and Teodora Alonzo. She was called Sisa by her siblings. She was one of the family members who visited Jose Rizal in his prison cell the day before his execution, December 30, 1896. Rizal's remains were buried in an unmarked grave in the Cementerio Generaldo de Paco. Doroteo Ongonco, with the initial RPG, the inverted initial of Jose Protasio Rizal. This original sculpture, work by Galemet, was created in 1935 and donated to the Rizal Shrine, Fort Santiago, by Lancio Lopez Rizal, son of Narcisa Rizal. Olympia, 1855-1897, was called as Waipia. She was married to a Silvestro Obaldo, a telegraph operator from Manila. She is the 4th child in the Rizal family. Jose loved to tease her, sometimes good-humoredly describe her as his sister, Jose's first love. Segonda Katigbak was Olympia's schoolmate at the La Concordia College. Losha, 1857, 1919, and 85. Losha Rizal Barbosa was born. She married Mariano Herbosa, and they had 5 children. Mariano died in 1889 as a result of an epidemic, but he was denied a Christian burial. This was due to the fact that he was Jose Rizal's brother-in-law. This marked the beginning of the Rizal's family persecution by Spanish friars. Lucia passed away in 1919. Maria, 1859-1945. Maria Cruz Rizal was born in the year 1855. She married Daniel Faustino Cruz of Binan, Laguna, and they had 5 children together. One of Maria's children, Mauricio Cruz, became a student of Jose Rizal in Dapitan and was known to be one of his uncle's favorites. During Jose's lifetime, Maria was a known recipient of many of his letters, and Maria passed away in 1945. Concepcion, 1862-1865, was called as Concha. She died at the age of 3. Josefa, 1865-1945. Josefa Rizal was born in 1865. She was unmarried and lived with Sister Trinidad until death. Josefa was said to have suffered from epilepsy, and she died in 1945. Trinidad, 1868-1951. Trinidad was born in the year 1868. She remained single and shared a home with her sister Josefa. Trinidad was the one who received from Jose an alcohol lamp in which he secretly hid the last farewell, also known as Mi Ultimos Adios, a poem Rizal wrote on the eve of his death in 1896. Trinidad died in 1951, having outlived all of her siblings. Soledad, 1870-1929. Soledad Rizal Quintero was the youngest of the Rizal siblings. Born in 1870, she married Pantaleon Quintero and they had 5 children. Soledad passed away in 1929. Rizal was close to all of her siblings. His relationship with his only brother Pasiano was, however, more than that of an older brother. Pasiano took on the rule of Rizal's second father. The Rizal family was a mix of races as principals. Jose had Chinese ancestors on his father's side and Japanese ancestors on his mother's side. According to a recent study, his mother is from Raja Lakandula. In short, his ancestry can also be traced back to Malayan and Indonesian genes, resulting a truly magnificent blend of blood. Domingo Lamco, a native Chinese of Shanggu, city of Changchu, province of Yukon, was Jose Rizal's great-great-grandfather on his patrilineal side. Francisco Mercado lived in Binan and was eventually elected as the town Gobernador Silo. They had 2 children before his death in 1801, Juan and Clemente. Juan Mercado, Jose's grandfather, was also elected as Gobernador Silo and was affectionately known as Capitan Juan. By many, he was elected 3 times in 1808, 1813, and 1823, and served mayor on several occasions. He married Cirila Alejandra, the daughter of Lamco's grandson Shanko. They had 12 children, the youngest of whom was Jose's father, Francisco Mercado. Jose Rizal's maternal descent can be traced back to Lacandula, the last native king of Tondo and Buriam Muslim. Eugenio Ursua, Doña Teodora's father was of Japanese ancestry and married a Filipina named Benigna. There were numerous mercados in the Philippines who were unrelated to them. There was even a family friend who was an alcalde mayor who used Rizal perhaps to stand out. But his Jose didn't mind. In fact, Jose is the only one who uses the surname Rizal. This could explain why Jose appeared to be an illegitimate child. And now let's talk about the childhood of Jose Rizal. Jose Rizal's childhood was filled with happy memories. They lived on the Laguna Lakes shore and at the foot of Mount Makiling. He enjoyed seeing the magnificent beauty of Laguna de Bay. Because he was frail and sickly, his parents lavished him with a tender, loving care. Despite his physique, he can do things like any other young one. He was well guided, particularly by his mother, who served as his first teacher. When he was 3 years old, his mother taught him the alphabet and how to pray. His mother noticed that he could write poems at a young age and encouraged him to keep writing. He was able to write a poem about his hometown and memory of my town when he was a young boy. A poem about his love for his hometown, reminiscing about the beauty memories as a young boy and cherishing the scenic beauty of his hometown. His nursemaid told him ghost stories, treasure stories, legend, and folk tales. When little Jose refused to eat his evening meal, she would scare him with stories about aswang, nuno sa punso, and tikbalang. He often enjoyed playing alone and listening to the different birds sing, such as the Kolyawan, Maya, Maria Capra, Martini, and Pipit. His uncle Manuel worked on his physique until he had a silk and braced body. His uncle Gregorio instilled him the desire to do more and work harder in order to achieve his goals in life. Jose also owned a pony, which he used to ride around his hometown. Beautiful scenery. He used to be able to draw a bird flying about without removing his pencil from his paper until the picture he drew was finished. She can also draw a horse chasing a dog, and his favorite activity was molding animals out of clay and wax. Another happy memories was his nocturnal walk with Osman, his big black dog. Others call it Berganza. His sister giggled at him once while he was playing with his friend, but he didn't say anything. Instead, he silently told them that when he died, people would build numerous images of him. Jose's happiest memory from his childhood was a trip with his father to Antipolo to fulfill his mother's vow to perform pilgrimage to the Virgin of Antipolo. They boarded a barge and sailed to the Pasig River. After paying their respect to the Virgin, they traveled to Manila to see his sister Saturnina. Jose was visiting Manila for the first time. Jose experienced his first grief when he was 4 years old as a result of the death of his younger sister Concepcion or Concha. His mother told him a story about a moth one night. The tragic of the moth left ineligible memory of sacrificing for a worthy cause in exchange for something valuable. Thank you!